A man used a scoreboard at a baseball game to break up with his girlfriend. China is limiting children to 3 hours of online gaming per week. And Ireland is under attack from a sex-crazed spider. These are the weird stories for Monday on Weird AF News, your only daily weird news podcast. Your only daily weird news podcast hosted by a comedian. I'm happy to be here. I'm Jonesy. Got 3 weird stories from around the world. Let's do it. A man dumped his girlfriend on the giant Jumbotron scoreboard at a baseball game. Baseball games, as you know, are not typically associated with heartbreak, unless your team's terrible and you lose it in the 9th inning because you don't have a closer. One couple, though, whose relationship appeared to disintegrate and even end at a minor league baseball game seems to be the exception to this rule. Now, Jumbotrons, while primarily used to keep score and highlight key moments of the baseball game, are a beloved part of the baseball experience, as you know. Catching a glimpse of yourself on the giant screen is a very thrilling experience for many people. And messages, often romantic or congratulatory in nature, are frequently displayed for all to see on the big screen. On-screen declarations of love, particularly in the form of marriage proposals, have become so common that the trend has taken on a life of its own. Now, I'm sure you've all seen a marriage proposal on the big screen at a game, either on television or live, or maybe you saw the YouTube video afterward. There was one recently where the girl turned the guy down, and I watched that. I watched it over and over again, I'm not going to lie, because I just like to watch people being punished. I just love when shit goes downhill. It's funny to me. Yeah, but these things happen, right? Which, you know, if you're going to propose to somebody on the Jumbotron at a live sporting event, you better be sure the answer is going to be yes, right? So these guys, I mean, I don't even feel bad for them because they had no clue. You need to know 110% that she's going to say yes, otherwise you cannot do that. I blame them. Now, according to media, this incident that I'm referring to in the story, the breakup at the game, took place at an Akron, Ohio Rubber Ducks baseball game on Thursday. Now, the Rubber Ducks, this is a minor league baseball team. If you guys aren't familiar, you have the major leagues and then the minor leagues. But I actually prefer going to minor league games. They're very fun. They're cheap, especially the beer. You can get real cheap beer. You really can afford to get screwed up at a minor league baseball game. You cannot afford to get drunk at a major league baseball event. The beers are like $15. I'm like, what the hell's going on? You must pregame. I recommend. But I love minor league baseball games. Also, the parks are really small, so no matter where you're sitting, you're very close to the action. I can't recommend enough going to a minor league baseball game if you're ever in the States. So it says, while it ended up being a good night for the home team, the Rubber Ducks, by the way, they always have a funny name too, like Rubber Ducks, or some ridiculous. They're like the Memphis Cleavage. It's always really silly. So the Ducks won the game 11-2. One woman in the crowd was not so lucky, though. Amid the fan shout-outs displayed on the scoreboard's giant screen was the following message. Alyssa, this relationship is over in all capital letters. And then it said signed Tim. Okay. Now, there's a guy named Jack who is the creative services coordinator for the Rubber Ducks. And he explained to the media that fans can purchase shout-outs for $5 on the scoreboard. That's it, $5. So you could ask somebody to marry you. At the same time, you can tell somebody you'd never want to see him again for $5. Hilarious. It says here, this message strayed away from the content that they usually see on the scoreboard. Here's a quote from Jack. Usually they're birthday shout-outs, congratulations, happy anniversary, but this time we actually got a breakup. Going through the list, what the heck? Yeah, a breakup. No one expects that, really. Everybody was stunned. Yeah, Jack, why didn't your employee notice this and maybe not put it on the board like that? I mean, you need to have some parameters here. I don't think it's okay to really break somebody's heart like that. It's just very rude. It should be a private event when you break up with somebody, in my opinion. Proposing in public is something we've all accepted. The breaking up in public is not okay. Not okay. And just humiliating another human being in this way it's ridiculous to me. Ridiculous. It just shows you how cold these younger generations are, man. They break up with each other on text. They're just very disrespectful, in my opinion. And if you're working at this ballpark, you got to say no to that one. No, keep your $5, man. Keep your $5. I'm not going to put this on the scoreboard and humiliate some young woman. It says here, when the announcer read the message over the stadium speakers, the crowd reportedly went crazy. Jack says, yeah, the crowd went really crazy for this. They were pretty loud, and from up in the press box, it's hard to hear some of the sounds. We heard it for sure. You're an idiot, Jack. You just sound like a complete idiot. Jack is quoted as saying, this was not the first on-screen breakup witnessed at a Rubber Ducks game. Nope, wasn't the first breakup message we've seen on our big board. No. We've had shout-outs including everything from happy birthday to add me on Snapchat, will ya? Yeah, it gets a little crazy. Jack, what are you doing with your scoreboard here? I think you need to increase the price as well. $5 is just ridiculous. Despite the massive reaction garnered by the message, Jack doesn't have a clue as to who Tim and Alyssa actually are. Yeah, we don't ID anyone when they submit fan shout-outs, to be honest with you. We've not heard from either person, and it was real as far as we know, However, there's just no verification of the couple's identity or status. No, we just take $5 bills. We had a message last week. It was just like, hey, Grandma, thanks for coming to the game with me. I hope you pass away real soon so I can get at that inheritance. Yeah, we put that up there. Hey, it's $5. We can't turn down $5. All right. Now, images of this breakup circled on social media following the game. Of course, I'm sure the girl's family saw it too. It's very humiliating. But what do you guys think? You think it's okay to break up with somebody on the big screen like that? You're probably surprised to hear me say no, I don't like that. But I just think it's so disrespectful. Like the way that people break up nowadays, there's just no care or consideration put into it at all. I guess it's the same. I guess everything is just, who cares? It's like everyone's just jumping into bed with strangers right away off an app. No one's really taking the time to get to know each other. And then you're just not taking the time to properly break up with people either. It's just ghosting and all this other crap. I don't think I'm built for all this, guys. Anyways, call the show. Give me your take. 646-450-2012. I'm sorry that story went so long. China limits children to 3 hours of online gaming. China is banning children from playing online games for more than 3 hours per week. The harshest restrictions so far on the game industry, as Chinese regulators continue cracking down on the technology sector. Minors in China can only play games between the hours of 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Fridays. Wow, that's 1 hour. Weekends and on public holidays. This will begin September 1st, so right away, according to a notice from the National Press Administration. This limits gaming to 3 hours a week for most weeks of the year, down from a previous restriction set in 2019 that allowed minors to play games for an hour and a half per day and 3 hours on public holidays. Wow, so they've been doing this for at least a year, it seems like. I was unaware they were limiting online gaming. What about offline gaming? Is that just, you can go buck wild with the offline gaming? Now, this new regulation affects some of China's largest technology companies, including gaming giant Tencent, whose Honor of Kings online multiplayer game is hugely popular globally, as well as gaming company NetEase. Tencent's stock price closed down 0.6% ahead of this announcement, in case you give a shit. And then they say NetEase's stock was also down 9% because of this. Why, are there that many gamers in China? I assume there are. But you already had a restriction already, so I don't see why this would affect considerably, but maybe what do I know? It says here the gaming restrictions are part of an ongoing crackdown on technology companies amid concerns that technology firms, many of which provide ubiquitous messaging, payments, and gaming services, may have an outsized influence on society. So are you just trying to hurt the tech companies from a finance position, or are you trying to really just look out for the children's psyche is what I'm wondering. I'm like, do they really give a shit about the kids is what I'm wondering in China. Is that what's going on here? Children spending too much time gaming is obviously a concern. I'm not a parent, so I've never been in the position to make a decision whether or not to limit such activity in a child's life. I'd imagine you might have to. It might get out of control. Especially if the child is unhealthy. So health is a thing, man. And kids playing video games all the time and not exercising, not being outdoors and doing a thing. I mean, it will take its toll on a person's life. For sure. And you think the school's providing like enough gym activity for the kid to be in shape? Hell no. You can give up that dream. Gym is nothing. Gym's a joke at school. Absolutely. But what do? It's hard. These games are amazing. I've played them. It's a world that you want to live in all the time. It's much more exciting than real life, isn't it? And there's a social aspect to it as well. Your friends are on there. You make friends on there. Online gaming there's so many facets of it that make it entertaining and great. I mean, I don't know what you do. It's so alluring. I mean, how do you keep kids away? Even this very strict protocol that China's inputting, I don't know how you monitor that. I mean, how many billions of kids are in China, basically? Like, how are you going to keep up with that? Really? Are you really going to crack down? I mean, you would have to build a technology that's so great, and you have to spend so much money and time and hire a whole organization just to monitor online gaming. It would seem to me. I don't know. What do you guys think, those of you who are parents? Do you think China's move in this direction is what we need for our kids to ensure that they just don't become waste products in front of a screen? Call the show, 646-450-2012. You like podcasts? You're listening to my podcast. Maybe you thought to yourself, I'd like to make a podcast. Too difficult. No, not with Anchor. Anchor has free creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast from your phone or your computer. Anchor distributes your podcast to Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. They have advertising integration, so you can even make a little money off your podcast. Everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your creation. Good luck with your life, man. Yay! Ireland is under attack from sex-crazed spiders the size of your hand. At the end of August, Ireland is facing being invaded by a swarm of sexually aggressive, fist-sized spiders that really make your skin crawl, apparently. And these aren't just any sex-crazed, fist-sized spiders. These ones can apparently go from 0 to 60 in 1 second. 1 second, it says. So they're very fast as well. They crawl right up your booty. 2020 just keeps getting better and better, doesn't it, guys? Just we got a giant hurricane right now, Ida, smashing the southeast, and sex-crazed spiders as big as your hand running around, crawling down your underwear because they're sex-crazed. In what way are they sex-crazed? Let's find out. According to the experts, these 8-legged freaks were on the prowl for a mate. So, the Irish are being advised to keep your eyes peeled as well as your wits about you. Yes, that's right. Keep your eyes peeled for the sex-crazed spiders. Keep your zipper up. The male house spider can grow to have a leg span of up to 10 centimeters in the mating season. In the mating season? The legs grow during the mating season? That's crazy. My legs don't grow during mating season. Something else grows. Hey! And people in Ireland are being warned again this year to check their sheds, their gardens, and the warm spots in the corners of their homes for the creatures. Leading ecologist Dr. Chris Terrell-Neild of Nottingham Trent University says the spiders can look very imposing and can frighten people due to the way that they move. And they are, quote, rather alien. And we do not have a connection with them. That's the quote. We do not have a connection with the spiders. Just in case I don't know. I think some people have connections with spiders. Hello, Spider-Man. But this guy urges people to remember the vital role that these arachnids play and that they are more afraid of us, actually, than we are of them. Yeah, you tell that to your wife when she's standing on top of a table screaming for you to kill the damn thing. Here's a quote from this doctor. Oh, the spider that is coming into houses at the moment is the house spider. It is one of the world's largest spiders. The males are up to 10 centimeters across the leg span. Can be the size of your hand. That is the top range, but it can be 2/3 the size of that. The size is down to how much they've eaten. They're not dangerous, but they can give you a little nip. They have these little fangs. Don't be afraid. These things have been breeding. They started their lifespan in the spring. This time of year, August and September, the male spiders have the urge to mate. They start wandering around looking for females. They crawl through your ears. When they find them, they mate, and she lays the eggs, and the males usually dies. Yes, they die. There are a bunch of creatures out in the world that after they mate, they just die. Isn't that crazy? What a sacrifice to make. Now, yeah, I mean, I've done a lot for sex, but I mean, if you were to tell me that afterward I'm going to have to die, I mean, I don't think there's sex good enough in this world that would get me to agree to do that. I don't know. There is Salma Hayek, though. Just for a night with Salma, maybe I might risk it. Hello, everyone, my loyal listeners, fans of the show. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate your commitment to Weird AF News on a daily. It means a lot to me. Without you, where would I be, right? I'd be in a closet recording to nobody. And at least I got this audience here, and I adore you for joining me. Thank you. I hope you had a nice weekend. I had a very busy weekend of doing shows at the Laugh Factory and going to a wedding. It was lovely. I also ate some great, just amazing food. Oh, don't you just love weddings? The food. Ugh. I don't even care if I like the couple or not. I'm just going for the food, man. Just give me the food. I'm that guy I'm just going to town. Going to town, boozing it up. It's just open bar all the way. Oh, I love it. Anyways, I got some nice emails from people who are fans of the show, like Darlene and Jay, who said, "Hey, Jonesy, it's Darlene and Jay Renali. Sorry, haven't written lately, but been busy. Still listen to the podcast every day. We just listened to Friday, August 27th podcast, and Jay laughed all through it. My goodness, some people's kids, huh? Anyways, I'm writing to say I would love to go to Keith Sweat with you or any 90s washed-up concert. That would be awesome. Go see Keith Sweat with my favorite comedian. Hell yeah." Well, I'm seeing Keith Sweat, Darlene. I'm sorry. I know you're jealous. I can't wait. I can't wait to see Keith Sweat. Also, JONESY. If you don't know this band, look it up. Have you guys heard of 112? Only you. Oh, so good. Love 112. Love that 90s R&B, man, and rap. The old school R&B and old school hip-hop is so great. I just love it so much. And thankfully, these people are still around. They're still kicking it. They're still doing shows. So Keith Sweat is out there, guys. If you just want to go, just get a ticket. It's not even that much money, believe me. It's like no problem. I could probably get Keith Sweat to perform in my apartment for like $2,000. I'll bet you. I will bet you. Also got an email from John Salewitz. Salewich? I hope I said that correctly. John sent me an article, and she said, "Just found your podcast, Jonesy. It's absolutely hilarious. Here's an article, and this is very funny. Your buddy John from Zionsville, Indiana, which I've never heard of. Zionsville reminds me of a Bob Marley song that goes, I'm gonna be iron like a lion in Zion. Oh, I love Bob Marley so much, man. I could listen to Bob all day. While smoking weed, man. If you guys want to send me stories or just say what's up, my email is funnyjones@gmail.com. Or go to Instagram, drop me a DM, slide into my DMs. I actually welcome sliding into my DMs. It's @funnyjones, and you can put links to stories there as well. And lastly, please, if you'd like to support the show, join our Patreon. I put, 4 or 5 things in the Patreon today because I was a little behind. And so just always constantly putting weird AF content in there. And so for those of you who are in there, please enjoy that. And for those of you who would like to be a member of the Patreon, you can do so by going to patreon.com/weirdafnews and support the show, or go to weirdafnews.com and click on the link. Yeah, that's right. There's a link there. Love you guys. See you tomorrow.